The machines, they're alive.
No, Dad. We operate them from these tablets. The future of agronomy is here.
The world needs farmers, and Rend Lake College is leading the way with our Agronomy Innovation Center, meaning you can be part of the solution. Your journey in agriculture starts at Rend Lake College.
Welcome everyone to the 44th annual Rend Lake College Foundation dinner. Every time that I come in this room, I just get more jazzed up every time. Speaking of jazzed up, the music tonight's going to be provided by our Rend Lake College Jazz Trio, so thank them for being a part of tonight. You're going to hear a little bit more from them during our dinner time as well. Dinner will be here in just a few moments. My name's Tony Wilt, and I have the pleasure of serving on the Rend Lake College Foundation Board, and it's my honor to welcome all of you here tonight. We are going to be celebrating some outstanding students, alumnus, and community members tonight. I'd like to recognize a couple of people before we get started. Our Rend Lake College trustees that are here this evening, Mr. Brian Doris, Mr. Jeff Jones, Mr. Larry Manning, and Mr. Ron Daniels. If you could raise your hand, thank you for being a part of tonight. We've got our CEO students here tonight, and my student is here, Kennedy Odom. I want to shout out to you. Thank you for being here too. Yeah. Before we get started, today is December 7th. When I say December 7th, many of you have a couple of different thoughts that come to your head. The first one might be, Christmas is like 2.5 weeks away, and I may need to figure out how to get on the nice list. So if you need to be reminded that Christmas is 2.5 weeks away, work on getting on the nice list. The other thought that I have maybe is a little more solemn reminder of a tragic day that rocked our country a little over 80 years ago. Now, there's not likely anyone here that served our country during that time, but there are many here that, because of those events, made the decision to step up and serve our country and protect the freedoms that we still have today. Now, I'm not going to ask you to stand because you've already stood up for us, but I do ask if the rest of us could recognize those who have served our country and the families that also served with them. We thank you. I'd ask John Cabot to make his way to the podium if he would. While he makes his way here, tonight's dinner I want to share with you is provided by Deborah Kay's Catering out of Cesar, Illinois. She will be assisted tonight by our Rend Lake College Culinary Art Club, so we would like to thank them as they participate in our dinner this evening. John?
May we assume an attitude of prayer. Dear our most holy and loving Father, please send down your love and blessings on all of those present tonight. Please bring your love and protection for all those people who seek world peace. Protect all those who protect us in our military and praise you and love you each day. Please bless our teachers, our leaders at Rend Lake College. Bless them so that they can bring peace and joy and hope this Advent season. Please send out our blessings to all the wonderful donors and supporters who make this school an affordable school at Rend Lake College. Please let us put our faith in you, Lord Jesus, so that we can live in love and gratitude for all that you do for us and offering us eternal life in heaven. Bless all those students who are attending Rend Lake College so they can have a successful school year. Help them to have a wonderful career to lead their life to you, and help them serve their family and their community. Bless all the people who prepared this food. Bless the farmers who grew it. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Dinner will now be served. Enjoy. We'll be back in a few minutes to start our program. We're going to go ahead and start the program tonight. What a wonderful dinner. Thank you, Deborah Kays, catering from Cesar. If we could give them a round of applause. Thank you to the Rend Lake College Culinary Art Club for also assisting them. Speaking of this dinner, this is it's a large effort. It takes a lot of people involved in making this room and this evening look as jazzed up as it is. But it also could not happen without two sponsors that have been longtime supporters of this event, People's National Bank and Eggemeyer and Associates. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight. We appreciate it. Tonight really is a celebration to this foundation. We're going to celebrate some people here in just a few moments, but before we get to that, I want to share with you a few things that are going on in the foundation that I just think are noteworthy, especially in a room full of supporters of Rend Lake College. This year, 23-24, this year we were able to provide nearly $250,000 in scholarships to over 200 students. That is in no small effort to, thank you, yes. That is an awesome experience to these students, but what is even better, we already know that next year, that amount's going up $50,000. There have been endowments established by several local families that are going to allow dozens more students to have their life changed with the gift of education. The Charles and Maud Guy family, the George and Mary Slankard family, Mr. A. These are all just a few of the families that are providing the gift of education to these students posthumously. Can we give them a round of applause? And really, that's just the tip of the generous iceberg that this foundation works with annually. My point is really this. As a college, as a community, we are creating opportunity for students to come to school. To the many donors that are here tonight, on behalf of the foundation, a very heartfelt thank you to all of you. Speaking of jazzed up, as I have mentioned a few times tonight, just thinking about the legacy that we are leaving here with the students that we are able to help both annually and through endowments, it really does jazz me and this room up. The only night, frankly, that comes close to this is the annual scholarship dinner, when we get to sit right next to the students that we help and we get to hear their stories. If you have not done that, I promise you, you're missing out, and I would encourage you and challenge you to visit with the foundation and the members, and let's help make that be a part for you to be a part of that dinner in this next year. Now, let's meet our alumnus of the year. I think that we should have someone that knows him well to introduce Mr. Box. Tim Wills has coached him as a student athlete and coached with him as a peer. I would invite Tim to the stage to lead this introduction.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that, and it is my pleasure to be here tonight to introduce our Alumnus of the Year. For those of you who were here last year, I apologize. You're having to listen to me 2 years in a row because I got to introduce a great friend and teammate of mine from last year, and now I get to introduce another great friend as well. We're in a room here, as Tony has alluded to, a lot of people who have achieved a lot of things and are successful. I've always been kind of intrigued with success and what causes people to be successful. Many years ago, I read a book by Stephen Covey, many of you may have read, called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And obviously, he had studied people, and he came up with the idea that people who are successful shared traits or habits, and he had 7 of them. And the gentleman I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm sure has all 7 of those, as many of you do as well. But I want to talk about his first one. The first one, he said, is be proactive. I looked up some synonyms for proactive today. It's dedicated, enthusiastic, intense, and passionate. Those of you at that table over there recognize those traits in that gentleman you're with? I want to tell you a quick story, and then this is about Glenn. I don't want to be up here too long, but it was August of 1995. I'm sitting in my office over in the gym, and I get a phone call from this young man who's wanting to come here to play basketball. This is not just any Friday. It's Friday afternoon. School starts on Monday. And I painted a pretty grim picture, if you remember. I said, I don't have any scholarship money. I've got no place for you to live. All I can tell you is I can give you a uniform and a roster spot. Don't know if you'll get to play. If so, how much? And he said, well, if I can get there, will you help me register for class? I said, sure, no problem. We had 2 other young guys on our team from Cairo who he was familiar with, and I hung up the phone. I left the office for the weekend thinking I'll never hear from that young guy again. Well, I get here about 7:30 on Monday morning, and who's standing outside my office but Glenn Box? Transcripts in hand. Coach, I'm here. Can you help me register? And I said, where are you living? Oh, my grandma knew somebody in Mount Vernon, and she's renting me a room. Okay, so we get him over there, and he registered for classes. Within no time, he was our starting point guard. He was the leader of the team. He on a really good team. We went 20-12 and ranked as high as 5th in the country that year. And we had 5 or 6 guys who went on to play college basketball after that. And he was one of the leaders of that team. And we would not have gotten where we were without him. So then he leaves. He goes on to Southeast Missouri State, gets his degree from there. He passed up opportunities to play at the 4-year level because he had a couple of young children at the time, and he wanted to be close to them to help raise them. So he lived at home and drove back and forth to Cape and got his degree. Then had some jobs that I'm sure he could tell you where all he worked. I just found out from an article they wrote about him when he got his recent job at Miami, Ohio, that he actually worked on the river for a while. That's real work. But he did what he had to do to make things work. Then in 2002, he and I got back together. He came back to Rend Lake as my assistant. He knew he wanted to be a coach. The problem is college coaching jobs generally go to people who have played at the 4-year level. That's the transition. You play, you graduate, and you get a job. Well, odds were against him. So he started here, making a lot of money at that time. We were really paying well. He was a great assistant. He worked for me for, I believe, 3 seasons, and then he knew he wanted to be a head coach. So he decided that he wanted to apply for and take over our women's job as the head coach when it was open. Ran our women's program as his first head coaching job and was so successful there that he parlayed that into some Division I assistance positions at a variety of different schools, culminating at the University of Indiana, where last year they were ranked in the top 10 most of the season. Won the Big Ten championship, got a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and he's applied for, he's interviewed for jobs before. He's always wanted to be a head coach at the Division I level, and those opportunities just weren't happening. But he kept hanging in there and he kept plugging along and he stayed proactive as he always was. He was enthusiastic, he was passionate. And this summer he got the opportunity to run his own program at the University of Miami of Ohio in Oxford. They're struggling this year, but I have no doubt that that program is going to reach heights that they've never seen before at that university, because this gentleman is passionate and he's enthusiastic and he's intense. So please welcome our Alumnus of the Year, Mr. Glenn Box.
So first of all, I want to say thank you for having me here. Obviously, you know, I've had an opportunity to see much of the world, do many special things, and I will tell you that this award, for the most part, is probably, in my humble opinion, the award that I'm most proud of. Rend Lake College is my home. You know, it provided me opportunity, and it's everything to me. You know, and so, you know, it's important to me. But first, you know, I'm the type of person that I like to definitely give my many thanks and show my gratefulness. So I just want to introduce you to a few people as we go. I want to show you my mother, Carrie Bridges. She made the trip here from Carroll, Illinois. You can hold your applause too if you, it's okay, thank you. But unbelievable mother. She had me at 15 years old. She took care of me. She's given me everything she possibly could. I have nothing but love and admiration for my mother, my grandmother, Brenda Gooden. I'm extremely thankful that she could be here with us today. She too has been my everything, my rock. My grandfather has passed this past year. He's been the patriarch of my family. He's much of who I am today. My brother Devon. You know, I'm super proud of him and everything that he's done, and he's been super loyal to me. My wife is here, Leah, my new wife, you know, and I'm so thankful for her. My baby Bella, my daughter Anna has been a part of all this journey. Darius, William, they're not able to be here today because, you know, life takes its turns. But I basically, during my time here at Rend Lake, I've had two separate lives here at Rend Lake. So I had the life when I was a kid, and everybody is probably familiar, if at all, with my struggles throughout life to be where I am today. But it's helped me be the man that I am today. And for that, I'm eternally grateful for having to go through some of the things that I had to go through. And it's taught me, you know, valuable lessons for me. And, you know, the first journey, obviously, Coach is aware of this. You know, it was my time as, you know, he mentioned to it, my time as, you know, as a player. And I remember my very first day. I remember what he's talking about. You know, that was a time, I think, in 95, you know, and I remember having like $1,200 in my bank account. And at that time, I think tuition for my semester was like $780, and I dropped it. But I was always a believer that you had to jump in 2 feet. If you wanted to do something, you just do it. You know, you don't sit there and you don't worry about, you know, what's next. You don't worry about your safety net. That's not how life works. That's not how life has worked for me, and I've always jumped in 2 feet, and it's worked for me. And that's a lesson that, you know, I try to share with young people all the time. You can't be afraid. You have to move forward, like with life, and that's how life works. And then, of course, there's the second part of my life at Rend Lake where, you know, there's certain people here that are actually in this room that I wanted to mention. You know, obviously, Coach Wills is my mentor of life. You know, I love him to death. He's the greatest thing that's ever happened at Rend Lake College. I'm not saying it because he just introduced me, but I do hope that you all truly understand his value here and what he's meant to me and some of my other teammates that I had. And he's my mentor in life. Like, I really don't talk to anyone in my profession because I want to beat everyone. And so, like, he's the guy that I rely on. And, you know, he's here, he's an asset here at Rend Lake College, and I hope that you all understand what you truly have. There was Mark Kern, who was here. For whatever reason, Mark Kern loved me. And he was really good to me, you know, and for that I'm grateful. There were other people here because he helped give me an opportunity after my 3rd year when I took over the women's program. I worked for the STARS retention program, basically to supplement my income, basically to survive, basically as a reward for being here for 3 years and making about, I don't know, less than $20,000 over 3 years, you know, and so he took care of me. He basically took me in the administration building. He gave me opportunity. He looked after me, as did these people, Lisa Price. As many of you know from Benton, she was sweet to me. Salah Shakur took a special interest in me. Remember, try to follow where I'm going with this because it's going to lead to something in a minute. Brett McLean. He was here, you know, he helped, you know, give me an opportunity. There's a lady here by the name of Gloria Oliver who I had special conversations with. You know, Ginger Hogan, every time I walked in the administration door, she was there to greet me. I always remember her smile, always appreciative. Jenna Jenzik, my favorite Pink Panther, I love her. God bless her soul, Cindy Snyderwin, I want to make sure I mention her. She was good to me. I had a friend who's not associated with Rend Lake, but during the time that I was here and I was making my moves, he pretty much put up a house in about 3 months' time. His name is George Zonders. At the time, he was owner of Mount Vernon Dream Homes. He's one of my best friends in life forever. He is what a true friend really is. Dave Ellingsworth, Sue Scatone, Julie Oxford, all special people. But my point is, you know, as I go through this, and I'm going to hit my point in just a second. When I was hired at Miami, you know, for me, after going through the things that, you know, you go through, I'm a crier. So I'm a very emotional person. And I'm almost 50, and I don't give a shit. Like, if I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry. So, but for like 3 days, it was a really emotional time for me, and I didn't know why. Like, I just couldn't stop crying. I couldn't help myself. I'm getting interviewed by everybody, and I'll be damned, I'm just crying, and I can't help it. And so a lot of it was just the reflection, just thinking about the things that I had to go through, stuff like that. And it brought back memories that were in my memory banks that, you know, when you're going through it, you just keep pushing forward. And for me, you know, it finally, like, popped up. And it was like something that I had to deal with. And you know, and again, I'm gonna mention there was real struggle. And I did have a great mom, I had a great grandmother, but you know, once I was an adult, and I had to find a way, and I had to find a way to make it. And you know, some of my struggles were, you know, self-inflicted. You know, I had 2 sons that were young, and I had to find a way for them. And so, with all that being said, the true, believe it or not, the one thing that I had to think about all the time, that was always in my mind, was when I was here and I was saving money, and I was a student athlete here, and South Oasis had a vending machine, and they had popcorn in the vending machine. True story, butter popcorn, and that was, for the most part, and I'm not saying it to be like that type of person, but that was the meal that would pretty much keep me full. And, you know, as a person, you know, as you're going through that, you know, you don't really think about it because you have to save your money. I got 2 kids at home. I got to get through. I got a basketball season. I got to do this. I got to graduate, all that kind of stuff. But then, you know, when you think about it, you know, 25 years later, you're thinking about, like, that was really a tough time. But you didn't really think about it being a tough time. You just made it work. And so my point is, right now, with my current situation, with my current ability, I have a new wife, I have a new family, I'm still doing things again, and it's quite a blessing. But for me, I really want to give back. And what I want to do is something that I can't do in my name because it's an NCAA violation. But my family, in honor of my grandparents who helped put me up during that time, they're the Goodens. They're Bill and Brenda Gooden. I know that my family, for the most part, it's not going to be anything lucrative early, but I do want to say that My family intends to have a scholarship in that name, the Gooden Scholarship. And for the most part, that scholarship is going to, and I really want Coach Wills, even when he's retired, I want him to divvy out whoever is the earner of that scholarship. But it's going to be for an at-risk kid, for a kid either on the male side or the female side, someone that can truly use it, and it's really for basic necessities. It's so that they don't have to eat popcorn. It's so that, if they need something, at Walmart, they can have something at Walmart. It's somebody that truly needs it. And I do intend to do that. Well, I don't intend to do that. My family intends to do that. So I just want to leave that with that. And I just want to say that I am truly grateful and I'm thankful for all of you and for this award, because it actually does mean something to me. So thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. We don't always do it every year, although I've done it kind of like Tim. I was here last year doing this. So we honor and recognize the President's Award for an outstanding foundation board member. And this year's recipient is Will Davis. And it's Will Davis. Because I didn't know when they was going to put the slide up, so I thought we got to get that out. Will, the most valuable piece, and I think that following a little bit of what Glenn said, given your time is of huge value. Yes, monetary things are important, and that does help move things along, but as a foundation board member, Will has been very proactive in making relationships for the college, for the foundation, making those introductions, getting that awkward part out of the way where you get a chance to sit down and meet with some folks to do some good for the foundation and for our students. And so the most valuable thing that you can give in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, is your time. And sometimes we take that for granted. So Will, I want to thank you for your time and your contributions. We have a special presentation tonight, also not an award or recognition that we give every year, but we have a foundation board member that is retiring from both his professional career as well as a member of the foundation. After serving 6 full terms, that's 24 years of faithful service to this foundation, and most of those years was spent on our executive committee and serving as the secretary of the board. On behalf of the entire foundation board, we want to thank you for your time, your dedication, and commitment to this college. Mr. Mark Ballard. I learned that it's been about 45 years that you have served professionally with your firm, and it is not lost on us that over half of that period of time, you have additionally served this foundation. So it is my pleasure to share with you that the board has invited to continue serving on our board as an emeritus status, where you'll continue to remain connected to Rend Lake College going forward. If you don't mind, Mark, if you will come and join me right over here, we're going to get a nice picture with you, okay? Pass? Okay. Mark, thank you so much on behalf of the foundation, okay?
Hello, I'm so thankful to have everyone here in the audience celebrating this evening and recognizing our honorees tonight. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce the Rend Lake Foundation team, if they would please stand. Jessica Jakonich, she is our development coordinator. Dawn Johnson, our major gift officer. Madison Shepard and Katie Rapaski, who are both culinary students and our office student workers. And Kathy DeJarnett, who is the Executive Director of Admin Services, who unfortunately couldn't join us this evening. Since August 25th, 1966, when Rend Lake College was founded, the generosity of our community members and businesses have made an impact by creating opportunities and enhancing the futures of our Rend Lake College students through scholarships. This evening, I am proud to invite Treya Fassett, our student spotlight, to share how she has taken many opportunities available to her and to enhance not only her time at Rend Lake College, but also propel her future as a future educator with the gift of scholarship. Treya Fassett.
Thank you, Amy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is a famous quote by Maya Angelou that says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." When I embarked on my educational journey, I couldn't have anticipated the incredible impact that Rend Lake College would have on my life. From the professors who have dedicated their time and expertise to help me understand complex concepts, to the staff who have always been there with a kind word and helping hand. I have felt a genuine sense of support and care throughout my journey. I will also never forget the kindness and generosity shown to me through receiving scholarships through the Rend Lake College Foundation. This year, I was blessed to receive the Pat Kern Endowment Scholarship. This scholarship has not only allowed me to pursue my educational dreams, but it's also helped alleviate some of the financial burden that often comes with pursuing higher education. The unwavering dedication of all Rend Lake College staff and the scholarships I have received have played a pivotal role in shaping my educational experience. Furthermore, through the guidance and support of these incredible individuals, I have been able to explore numerous opportunities and actively participate in various aspects of college life. At Rend Lake College, I have had the privilege of being an AmeriCorps member, Phi Theta Kappa member, as well as a student ambassador. Through these programs and clubs, my eyes have been exceedingly open to just how much the people at Rend Lake College care. In closing, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of gratitude and appreciation for the immense support and care that both the staff and generous scholarship providers have shown towards me and many students at Rend Lake College. Their dedication to our success is truly remarkable. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt thanks to these incredible individuals who have made a profound impact on my educational journey. Without their unwavering support, I would not have been able to pursue my dreams and achieve my goals. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Dawn Johnson, the Major Gifts Officer here at Rend Lake College Foundation. Before I begin, though, I do want to speak to Glenn. First of all, congratulations. We're excited to have you back. I do have to tell a story, though. My husband, Benji, who I think you must know, he seems like he knows you. This morning, he said, I'm just so conflicted. We have a daughter that's a senior, and she plays ball. And he said, I'm just torn to go with her or go tonight. And I said, babe, it's fine. Just go with her and be a good dad. I'll be fine. And he goes, I meant to go see Glenn. I was like, okay. So he gives his regards and congratulations. So I am here solo. It was 1 year ago in this room at the annual dinner that I had the privilege of introducing a project to many of you in this room for the first time, the game plan. This was the kickoff of a $6.5 million project to renovate and expand the current facilities of the Jim Waugh Gymnasium that have not been updated in over 50 years. Tonight, I am both honored and humbled to bring to you up to speed how our generous alumni, our Rend Lake College community, businesses have stepped up to be a part of the game plan thus far. On this campaign trail so far, we have met one-on-one with individuals, we've met with large groups, we've met with small groups, alumni, and again, local businesses. Our first goal as a foundation is to reach $2 million by the summer of 2024, and through the considerate giving of our donors, I am happy to say we are at approximately 70% of that goal. We are eager to continue our grassroots effort in the upcoming months, so please stay tuned on our website and social media as we grow closer to breaking ground. Working and being part of the foundation, I feel, is one of the most rewarding places on a college campus. Being able to assist students and also being able to help with special projects throughout the campus and enhancing. But I'm going to state the obvious, absolutely none of this would take place without those of you in the room tonight, and that is the donors, so thank you. We never take for granted the history and the stories from our alumni, and we've heard a few of those already this evening. And tonight, I would like to share a video with you involving the game plan with a few more of those stories, and then I'll be back with you.
Never underestimate the life lessons that being a part of a sports team and at the collegiate level can teach you. Because one of the things I reflect a lot on, and I shared this, as a 2013 alumnus of the year for Rend Lake College in my speech, I shared a story that I didn't get a whole lot of playing time at the start, and maybe I could be discouraged by that. But Hummer approached me and he talked to me about my positive attitude, being an example to the other athletes around the balance of academics and sports. And my aha moment then was every team, whether you play on sports or you go into corporate America or a job, has different roles and responsibilities. And that diversity on a team is what really creates a successful team.
I had graduated from CGIP back home and was looking for a place to continue my basketball career. And that's when Coach had contacted me and offering me a scholarship and a place in his roster to continue my path. And it was the American dream that I always wanted to pursue, so I took the chance, and here I am today.
And for me, what I really decided to come back is, we have some high talent guys, some very talented basketball players, but more importantly, we have some very high character basketball players on this team, and that really stood out to me, and it's a reflection of our leadership and Coach Gamber.
So last year when the game plan was announced at the banquet, Tim Wills made the comment that 40 years ago when we played here, the conditions, the facilities are not much different than they were then. I leaned over to my wife and I said, we need to help. And so that's why we're contributing to the game plan. It means so much to me because, like I said, 40 some years ago I played here. 1982 is when it started. This is where it all started for me. Rend Lake is where it all started, and we're just happy to be able to help. We want our contribution to go towards the Hall of Fame wall. Our team was inducted, our 1983-1984 team was inducted to the Hall of Fame, and that team means a lot to me. And so I wanted whatever money we can give to go towards that area of the renovation. So we're excited and happy that we're able to help with the game plan.
I was looking at everything and I just couldn't believe how everything was the same. There were very few improvements. It had the same smell, but it brought back such good memories because I spent a lot of time here. When I worked in the maintenance department and worked midnight shift, I played in the game, and then afterwards I cleaned the gym. So I was sitting on the bench and playing in the gym, and then that night we would mop the floors, we would clean underneath the bleachers, and then pull them in. Sometimes I didn't even go home. I would stay in the gym a couple days and I didn't even sleep. That was the hard part. I learned my work habits from Rend Lake College in the maintenance crew and in the athletic department. I formed all my relationships here. I still have long-term friends. I slept on that couch. I was in the locker room a lot. I was almost compelled to give a donation. I went home and told my wife, I'm like, oh, my heart sank. I spent so much time there. I slept in the locker room, school all day, working, classes, and I'm like, I was very compelled. And when they walk in, they're proud that this is their school, and they play for the Warriors. I did even back then, but when they come in this new facility, they have to feel proud. Everything's going to be brand new, locker room, state of the art. So I think the sense of pride. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with recruiting. When I came here, it was just to play for Rend Lake. It was a hometown type thing. Now, I think you can get a wider range of athletes with a better facility for sure. It's state of the art. The training facilities, the new offices, a new locker room, I think that contributes to Rend Lake as a whole.
We had a great group here at Rend Lake College, and I am a Warrior through and through. And probably the biggest highlight was Coach Waugh. He was a lifetime friend, and he wasn't only our coach, but he really cared about each and every one of the players.
Well, I think it's all about the community. We're both in the best. You're a community college, we're a community bank. And we're about serving this community and enhancing and growing this community. And it's all about the folks or people within the community. When you had the President's Dinner back in March, started having discussions with Pat Kern and then President Wilkerson about your game plan and what you're trying to accomplish. Got a visualization of what the plan was. Looked very, very good. And it was an easy decision for us. I love the fact that it says Banterra, then you have at Rend Lake College.
Yes, sir.
It's a combination. It is a partnership. It's teamwork. How could you not want to support Rend Lake? And if you look at the history of Rend Lake, what it's done for our area, it's important that we continue to try to make Rend Lake even a bigger, important part of the community.
And one of the highlights since I've had the job is the tremendous support from the staff for me and for my athletes. and who've received it very well. And it's just been a great experience for me, and I know my players have had great experience, and you know, we have joy in the support staff.
I think the game plan would be a great recruiting tool for the college.
We're really proud of the athletes that our coaches are recruiting. They're good student athletes, high caliber young people, and now we feel like we need to upgrade our facilities to get them on that same level, and we feel like the game plan is the way to do that.
I'm Shane Garner, and I'm part of the game plan.
I am Cassidy Morris, and I am part of the game plan.
My name is Aaliyah Latita Tylevan, and I am part of the game plan.
My name is Brooklyn Fleming, and I am a part of the game plan.
My name is Bob Kelly, and I'm part of the game plan.
My name is Trish Reed, and I am part of the game plan.
Susie Woodward Maynard, and I am part of the game plan.
I'm Reese Johnson, and I'm part of the game plan.
My name is Brian Lahr, and I am part of the game plan.
I'm Stephanie Mings, and I'm part of the game plan.
My name is Coach Mike Helton, and I'm excited to be part of the game plan.
Dana Morgan, and I am a part of the game plan.
I'm Warren Stark, and I'm part of the game plan.
Wayne Arnold, part of the game plan.
I'm Tim Wills, and I'm part of the game plan.
I am Glenn Box, and I am part of the game plan.
Hello, my name is Dawn Johnson, and I'm the Major Gifts Officer here at Rend Lake College. I'm excited to share and invite you to be part of the game plan. If you know anyone that would like to be a part, donate, or find out more information, please reach out to our office. We're excited that you are going to be part of the game plan. So as you can see, we've had many special people already become a part of the game plan, and tonight we would like to honor just a few of our special MVPs. Before we do that though, I purposely noted in my notes to mention our foundation board just briefly. I have worked for 2 other universities. I've worked for another junior college over the last 25 years, and now Rend Lake. And my husband's been in education almost 30 years, so we've been around a few boards. And I will say I am in total awe of our foundation board members that we have here at Rend Lake, and they can make or break what's behind the scenes. And so I just want to briefly, if you are here tonight on our foundation board, can you just briefly stand and wave? Thank you. There has not been a time throughout this past year that I think I've called on each and every board member that they've ever told me I'm too busy or I can't, or I'm surprised Will doesn't have my number blocked by now, Pat Kern. If they don't hear from me about once a week, they're like checker pulse. So I just appreciate you. It's a privilege to work not just for you, but with you. So thank you for that. And now for our first MVP of the night. First up, we have Greg Barnard, who has been a faithful giver to Rend Lake College. And you can come on up. I believe this to be true. You can correct me, Greg, that you have been at every annual dinner. Is that correct? Have you missed any? You've missed a few. You've been in a lot of them. He was our first public donation to the game plan, and he has just been faithful, and he's also named our newest foundation board member. So congratulations and thank you. Warren Stark, who you saw in the video, was unable to be here tonight, but he has claimed the naming right of the men's locker room. That obviously meant a lot to him, and we thank him and continued his efforts to help us with the game plan. And next we have Dean Murder. And it has been such a privilege to get to know Dean and his family over this past year. He was last year's 2022 Alumnus of the Year, and not only has he shared his success with us here, he is now passing that on, naming the Hall of Fame, and sharing that with his 83-84 team to carry on their name. So we're so appreciative of you and Donna. Thank you. And last but not least, certainly, is our corporate MVP sponsor, Jeff May and the Banterra family. And if you're here representing Banterra, just wave at us tonight. I think it's this table right here. So thank you so much. The corporate sponsorship is truly what got this campaign kicked off and off the ground, and it's made this project turn into a reality, quite frankly. And so we know that you could give back to anybody, but we appreciate you staying local and giving to Rend Lake. And Tony, Jeff may want to say a few things.
No, I don't want to, but Terry said I had to say something. So they have great editors here because I don't speak that clearly. But first, Banterra and the Banterra organization, our shareholders, our board members, and our team members are just thanks you for letting us be part of Rend Lake. I really do appreciate that. When Pat approached us and twisted my arm, it took us about 10 seconds to decide that we wanted to be part of this, both at the board level and throughout the team. We want to be part of this. So many of our employees and customers have went through the doors of Rend Lake. We're just proud to be part of the team. We appreciate it.
I'll turn it back over to Tony, but just wanted to say thank you for being with us tonight. We know this time of year it's crazy. Most of you probably said no to something else on your calendar to be here with us tonight, so thank you, and we've loved having you.
Well, we look forward to breaking ground on the Banterra Sports Complex at Rend Lake College, so we look forward to that. Glenn, congratulations. What a great ambassador that you are for Rend Lake College. The CEO students that many of you met as you came in the coat check, they will be there for you when you exit. I hope that they just walked out of the room so they won't hear this, but I hope that they hear some of the passion, the energy, and being proactive as some of the things that they learned, that many of the recipients tonight learned when their journey began here at Rend Lake College. So we look forward to that. Treya, you did a great job. Thank you. And I know that you represent the Rend Lake College students very, very well. We appreciate all of you for being here tonight. We want to thank again Eggemeyer Associates and People's National Bank for really making this night happen. Thank you again. The Rend Lake College Jazz Trio will be playing some music as we exit this evening. On behalf of the foundation, the trustees, and the college, may God bless you, Merry Christmas, and safe travels home.